just a few words before we begin. I debated whether to put this video up today because things did not go well, and that's an understatement. But then I thought about it, and my channel is subtitled Video Diary of an Average Angler, and I'm sure all us average anglers have days like this from time to time, like we also have blanks. In fact, I checked, the last blank I had was last September, which surprised me. I thought perhaps I'd blanked after that, but there we go, not too bad. Anyway, so I'm putting it up out of interest, really, just to show how sometimes you plan a day and it doesn't quite go how you planned, and sometimes perhaps it's better to cut your losses and just decide that the gods are not with you. So there aren't any fish today, but you might be interested to see how things went. Hi folks, well, I'm out by the river. Despite all my disappointments fishing rivers this year, I'm trying yet again. But today could be a bit problematic. Things haven't gone well. It's been a very hot week. It's Friday today. The forecast is for the low 20s today, but it's going to be a clear, bright day, which is not very clever. Yeah, I decided to come to the top stream. Now, if you follow my videos, I came to the top stream early in the season and didn't catch anything. So it's a sort of a bit of a gamble, really, coming back here. But I decided to come here, and I was going to fish just maggots and worms and try for some perch. There are some good perch in here, really good perch. Well, things really started to go wrong when I went to the tackle shop on the way here. Had no maggots. It seems it's an area problem because other guys were in there and they were asking was there anywhere else they could go, and the guy in the shop said, well, I think we've all got the same problem. There was a forecast for maggots to arrive later today, but that was really no good for me. And they didn't have hardly any worms either. They only had what they call a bulk pack of worms, so I've got a big box of worms. So this will be interesting. For once in my life, I didn't bring any other bait. I'd sort of made up my mind to use maggots and worms, so I didn't have anything else with me. So I've bought the worms, and that's all I've got. So today will be really quite interesting. It's sort of going back to boyhood, really, going fishing with a pot of worms. So the only thing I fear is on this ooze system there are a lot of eels, and I don't like catching eels, so we'll see how it goes. But maybe I won't catch anything, but if I start catching eel after eel, which is probably unlikely, but I may not want to carry on doing that, but we can only try. I could have gone home and just called it a day, but having got so far, I decided to carry on. Anyway, a bit of a long chat there, just to explain what happened, and I'll get fishing now, or we'll get fishing, shall we? Okay. Well, here we are. This is the spot. Fished it before, but not in the summer. Caught perch here in the autumn. It's changed a bit since I fished it because all that there laying across the stream wasn't there last time I fished it. Obviously something's come down in the storms, but it provides quite an interesting sort of little spot. It's a bit tight to fish, but you know, you've got like a raft there, and I don't know what's going to come of it today. As I say, I've only got worms. I'm going to put a light ledger out there, and got a quiver tip rod. I was going to bring a float, but decided against it. I thought it may be a bit windy because it was very windy yesterday, but not so today. It's very, very calm today. So I'll get myself started and we'll see what happens. But I may not stay too long. If one of two things happens: one, I don't catch anything and get very hot, and two, if I start catching eels, which I don't really want to catch eels, but we'll see what happens. Well, here's my monster pack of worms. If I can get into it. Oh, there's a thing there. He only had 2 of these left, so he said make your mind up quick because if anyone else comes in. But there's a lot of worms in here, so should keep me going for a while. Yeah, the guy in the tackle shop was very apologetic and said it couldn't happen at a worse time because people haven't been going out in the hot weather. And of course quite a few people have been in today wanting to go fishing, and basically no bait. So we just have to see. Very quiet here again today, no one in the car park. The idea was really to fish maggots and ground bait with maggots. Nothing going down there. If there's any little perch around, they would have had a pretty quick go at it. Let's go further up near the raft, shall we? See what happens. That's about as close as I want to get, isn't it? Almost ended up in the raft. I was going to come here yesterday because the forecast for yesterday was that it was going to cloud over in the afternoon. So I was considering coming later in the day and fishing into the evening. Well, it didn't cloud over, not until after dark in fact. We actually had a bit of rain last night, it was the first rain for ages. I'll give it about an hour here, and if I don't get any bites, I may go back over into the car park pool where I was, I think it was last week, wasn't it? Because at least it's in the shade there, and previous experience on this top stream is if there's perch in the vicinity, they let you know fairly quickly, and certainly nothing's happening so far. Plus the fact I'm starting to get very hot already, and it's only 10:30. I got here quite late because I had to go to the tackle shop on the way, and then I spent quite a bit of time in there deciding what to do. So on the previous occasions I've caught perch here, I've literally had bites as soon as I cast in. So this doesn't bode well. Now, I'm really starting to roast here already, and it's quite early in the day, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move over to the car park pool. At least I'll be in the shade there, and if I'm going to sit there with no bites, I might as well sit over there as I'm sitting here, because this isn't working. Right. Well, apologies for my lack of perseverance at that first spot, but I was getting really hot, and nothing seemed to be interested. So I come back to the spot I was at last week. I think it was last week. Had so many days off because of the hot weather I lose track of time. Last time I was match fish, I had a match rod and I was fishing float. This time I've come with a ledger rod, so I've got no choice really. We'll see what happens. I'll put a worm out there. Shorten the thing a little bit. Oops, worms come off. I've got no maggot. I usually put a maggot on with the worm to keep the worm on, but I've got no maggots today. Oh well. Kink in my line there. Next time I cast I'll sort that out. I don't know if I want to be that near in. That wasn't very good. Oh. Well, that's not a very good start, was it? I'll try again. Get out a little bit further. I think my line's catching, that's why I didn't cast very well. Actually, I'll do this now and then I'll come back when I've sorted it out. It's like a loop of line sticking out there on the reel and it's not doing any good. Well, getting the loop out of that line on the reel turned into an absolute disaster, because I pulled off lots of loose line, and when I was reeling it in, it got itself knotted, and then I sort of got up to sort myself out and got the line all caught around my feet. It's taken me about 10 minutes to get back to square one here, so we'll carry on fishing now. Jeez. I'm beginning to think today was a mistake. I should have just gone home when I got to the tackle shop and found out they didn't have any maggots. I've got a tin of hemp in the bag which I could break out and throw in. But other than that, I've got nothing else, just worms. This spot should go into the shade soon. It's just a little gap in the trees up there, so the sun's coming through at the moment. I may cast over a bit more towards the open water there. I'm too near those lilies there. Yeah, thought as much. Line all tangled around the top of the rod now. Not doing very well today, are we? No, it's still tangled. I think that's it. I was going to go to a lake today and I wished I'd done that now, because everything's sort of gone wrong today. If I'd gone to a lake I would have taken bread and corn and all the normal stuff. think all this hot weather must have put the fish off completely, you know. I'm not sure what that dragonfly is doing down there. It keeps dipping down into the water and dropping its tail into the water. Or is it two dragonflies connected together, perhaps? Perhaps they're laying their eggs. I don't know. Don't know much about how dragonflies do these things. Yeah, I think it's two of them. Yeah, this is really a lovely spot, to be honest. It just is beautiful sitting here. No fish, but absolutely beautiful. And other than the trains, very peaceful. Trying out the zoom on the dragonfly, which keeps fluttering from A to B, so it makes it very difficult to film. But this is a digital zoom on the iPhone, so the resolution perhaps isn't as great as it should be, but 9 times digital zoom. Well folks, I've decided to throw in the towel today. The gods are definitely not with me today. As I explained in the intro, there were no maggots in the tackle shop. Got a big tub of worms, but I haven't had a touch on worm in either of the two places, and I actually tried a little bit further along just now. And the reason you didn't see that is because my head cam has packed up. I've had that head cam now 3 or 4 years and it's been great, but a while ago the internal battery seemed to fail. It wouldn't take charge, and I've been running it off a separate power pack and that's worked fine. But today, instead of the sort of red light coming on, which signifies that the power's connected, the red light was flashing, and it wouldn't record. So I'm not getting any bites. I'm sitting in a very nice place here, very, very comfortable and in the middle of nature, but it's great just sitting here, but fish-wise there's just nothing happening. So it's a bit foolhardy really. We had a really hot week, and the fact there's no cars here, no people here, people have obviously got the message. I just didn't get the message. Anyway, as I say, I'm going to throw in the towel. I'll just sit here for a little while watching the nature go by, and then I'm going to make my way home and perhaps get out next week. I'm going away at the end of next week for a little while, so if I don't get out early in the week, it may be a couple of weeks before I get back to you. And of course I've got to sort out the head cam as well to see if I can get that fixed, which is probably unlikely. So thanks for watching as usual. Not really much to see today, in fact 0 to see other than me sort of moaning. So yeah, until the next time, whenever that may be. As I say, thanks again, and thanks to the subscribers. I'm still getting a few more. And until the next time, it's bye for now, and cheers.